Hello, 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 and welcome to the new normal. Here we are on television. That's right, this is how television is made now. Even Jonathan Ross and Graham Norton, there's absolutely no difference. It's become incredibly egalitarian. Here I am in my Camden flat. Look, the sun is shining, but I'm not in it. I'm with you. And you are like the sun, aren't you? Because you represent feminism. Today, my guest is literally Tom Allen. I know, off the old telly in the before times. Let's see how he's catching up with the new normal. Now, let me press the button. Graham Norton doesn't have to do this, I'll tell you that. Here he is. We add him. And in 3, 2... I feel like his dapper face is going to magic.
Oh my goodness, there we are.
Oh my goodness. It's literally Tom Allen.
Literally, as I live and breathe. How are you, Deborah?
Do you know, I'm very well. I'm very well. I'm very much enjoying Locked In with Tom Allen. It's my favourite television show now.
Deborah, it's very kind of you to say. I'll be doing a new one after this. It's all about doing yoga. Linda is back. Linda has been out in the sunshine. I'll say no more.
Okay, if you haven't seen Locked In with Tom Allen, it's genuinely one of the funniest things on the internet right now. And as I was just explaining to our audience,
yes,
our television here is no different from how all television is made now. Why am I getting a funny feedback sound? Are you on your laptop?
No, I'm on my phone. Do you want me to put my earphones in?
Maybe. Don't know. Yes, something's happening with feedback loop. Tom Allen, we're going to see this is very live. But this is exactly how it was the other night on Graham Norton when Michael Sheen was doing a homemade Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. BBC One have no better production values than we do anymore, Tom Allen. It's the same.
It's very egalitarian, I'll tell you that.
I mean, it's been a great leveler.
It's been a great...
Especially for the complexion.
That's what Madonna said. Oh, I know. I was just thinking that. It's quite... I don't know if this is a good angle for me.
I've been holding. Look, I'm going to have so many muscles in my left arm because I hold it slightly above me. And
yeah, that's good. Oh, what am I doing? I'm an idiot, aren't I? I should have been having it like that.
You've got so wrangles. I even put makeup on for you today because you're always very glamorous.
Well, that's very generous of you to say. I've been wearing a suit. Keeping standards going, and it's been keeping me working. It's been keeping me busy. That's a good thing, isn't it? It's a good thing if we're busy.
When do you get the suit on? That's what I'm interested in. Did you get up in the morning and pop on a suit just to sort of have
today.
Fun? Did you?
Well, I did today. Yeah, I don't know. If I'm honest, I don't always. But there's the ironing board. I get up and then. Because I've had a few sort of things I've been doing, so it's made sense just to get ready, get dressed for the day, and actually it's quite a nice feeling. Like I'm not somebody who wears a lot of pajamas. Like I've got some, but I don't wear them often. Like around the house.
That you sleep naked, Tom Allen?
Oh no, that sounds more glamorous than it is. No, I do sleep in pajamas, but I don't. It's not often I wear them around the house. That's right.
Oh, okay. I thought we were getting the scoop of Marilyn Monroe sleeping only in Chanel No. 5.
I do. You know, I do sometimes like to do that, but it's, it's not, I live with my mum and dad, so it's not really a place where I feel that,
comfortable sleeping
comfortable
completely in the bath.
At all. Yeah,
listen,
isn't that terrible?
Tom Allen in the bath is a show I would like to see, and I believe by month 3 of lockdown, we don't know what we're going to be.
Fine, I'll do it.
I wonder what state we're going to be in, Tom.
I have to get good lighting. That's the only thing. I'll have to get good lighting by that point.
Tom Selinsky has got himself some kind of beauty influencer light. Look at this. I'm going to take you over. Tom Selinsky, who's my husband and also edits the podcast. Look at this. Can you see it?
Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm at the counter at John Lewis or something, or Selfridges.
It's so like being at the counter of Selfridges. So can I do something for your T-zone today? Have you got a little bit of...
Am I a bit shiny?
No, it's the kind of thing they say. I'm not actually saying
I see.
It
I was
to
like,
you.
oh God.
No.
Yeah, I know they love to tell you about that. And what sort of skin have you got? Well, I don't know. It's just skin, isn't it? I mean, I'm glad I've got some. What
kind of self-respecting gay man doesn't know what kind of skin he has?
I always say combination. Do you think that's right? I just think that's in the middle.
Yeah, combination is a good one to say because then they give you a bit of everything.
Oh, yeah, okay, fine. Okay, fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I am interested in, because I spend a lot of money in Space NK, and I am very interested in them giving me like looking at my quarantine skin, which is very different from my everyday skin. It's got very dry,
Oh,
it's gone redder. And I
mine
want them
goes like
to pay
that.
to let me do a beauty skin diary where they tell me how to fix it. And then I'll do a little Instagram live beauty skin diary. I don't
Oh, I
like the
would
word
love
beauty
that.
though. I don't want the word
No,
beauty because that
that's
implies some people
true, isn't
aren't
it? That's so
beautiful.
true. Like we're all beautiful, and it's all about confidence, isn't it? I think, but
A
in a sort of
confidence
grace,
diary
a
involving
confidence,
skincare.
a confidence diary that I'd like to do. And I mean, I should do that because I've been actually working on myself while I've been in quarantine. I'll tell you that. I got
Have
some
you?
products from I got some products from Aesop. I mean, that's by the by, really. But that I
Sure.
like their product. I like their face oil. I recommend a face oil before you go to bed.
It's
And
the
the toner.
number one gay male brand in my opinion.
Is it?
Every gay man's house I go
I'm
in,
such a cliche.
that's what they
I'm such a
use.
cliche. Oh well,
I
I'm
think
just a
you'll
gay.
probably be a trendsetter. You probably started at Tom Allen.
I probably told them, to be honest. But
You're
that,
the
and I like
reason for the cliche.
I basically made the cliches, right? Right, Dabs, right? But I love a bit of Lizzo. I love a Lizzo face.
Mm.
She's good. I mean, I feel like I'm being paid by these people. I'm not. I'm paying them extortionate amounts.
They might send you
And I'm so beholden to them. I'm still insisting on talking about them. But the reason I say about a diary, I've been reading this. I don't know if any of your Codependent No More by Melody Beattie, because I got told to read it a while ago to understand myself a bit more, and it's very interesting. Like, I think I might be codependent. I'm not sure.
Which of us is not codependent?
That's what I thought. That's what I
I mean,
thought.
also, this is a show for comedians, Tom Allen.
I
I
know, I
mean,
know.
in the
Yeah, we're
realest
all bloody
possible
codependent on
way,
it. I
nobody,
know.
nobody who goes on stage with a microphone and tells the kind of jokes people tell at dinner parties for a
Mm,
living is not
you're right. When
codependent.
you put it like
We
that, when you put it like that.
we
I mean, it's
desire
not,
to be adored.
that's it, isn't it? But she's telling me I've got to be, I've got to realize I am enough. I'm enough. I don't need other people's validation. I mean, what's
Too
that
much
gonna,
of
what?
anything, Tom Allen. Too much of anything. I mean,
You know.
I'm sorry. I should probably not be disrupting this meditative book that you are with
No, it's
jokes. I'm
fine.
heckling a book.
It's I know my only lifeline in these very depressing times, and you've ruined it.
I've
You've thrown
ruined
it in
it.
the bin. Melody Beattie in the bin. No,
No, I'm
it's fine.
sure I should read it too and also learn what's wrong with me. But to be honest,
Well,
do I
it's one of
want a
those.
cure? If I'm
Well,
cured,
that's
will
it,
I be
isn't it?
talented? That's the
It's
problem.
it's I mean, someone's got an idea for a t-shirt. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I suppose I was getting a bit blue, and I thought I should use this time to not like to read that book that somebody told me to read a few years ago. And I'm glad I'm reading. I'm glad I feel like I'm knowing myself a bit more. The one that she says, like, you should check in like whenever you need to. It can be every hour if you're going through a crisis, and go, what will support me here?
What will
What will
support
support
me?
me here? And it's not, you can't say like a vodka tonic. You can't, like, that's the worst thing you can say. You can't say that, and you
I
can't go
disagree
on
with this
and
book on so
you
many
got
levels.
you can't go on an app and go out and shag someone. You've got to like go to yourself and understand
Well, I can't
yourself.
now because it's illegal.
I know, and I got I I know they asked me to sort of spread that message amongst the gays, and I thought, like, I agree why they're saying it, of course, but I thought, I don't think I'm the person to tell gays not to hook up. It's a bit much. I don't think
Who's
I don't want it
asked
to
you
be
to do that? The government.
one, not the government, one of the charities. I wouldn't like to say which one. A noble charity, a noble charity. But I felt like
You got a call from a charity. Tom, would you have a word with your community? Because we think they're still on Grindr. We've had a look and there's a lot of action going on.
basically,
Anytime you
yeah.
can talk to your people,
They wanted me, and I thought, I don't want to be the face of, like,
not shagging.
not.
The poster boy for not
To be
shagging.
honest, I think I already am that. So
Yeah.
I've been that for
Be
too
honest.
long.
No, that could hang around post-quarantine about, no
Yeah.
shags Alan.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah.
wants
Oh, yeah.
that.
Oh, then that bloke. Why do I always feel miserable whenever I see him? Yeah, yeah.
Listen, if you are watching and you're thinking about hooking up with somebody, don't.
Yeah,
You have a responsibility to the community
true.
not to shag anyone you're not quarantined
Absolutely.
with. Anyone you're quarantined with, fair game. Not in
I've
Tom
told you.
Allen's case because he's
No,
with just with his
I was going to say,
parents.
please. Anyway, yes.
The face
So,
of abstinence, Kath is saying.
Yeah,
that
I'm
you don't
basically
want
the
to be
Salvation
playing
Army right here.
guests.
I may as well just have a brass band.
I've got to ask you my official questions, Tom Allen. And
Oh,
in the
very
time-honored
official.
fashion of television, I'm just going to lean down and get the A4, the questions are
Oh,
on.
the clipboard, lovely. Oh, that's a lovely
Yes, here we go.
bookshelf.
Here we go.
Debs has
It's
got
so
lovely
professional. I
bookshelf.
mean, it is literally what Graham Norton's doing now. I
I
don't feel
know.
bad.
No,
It's
don't feel bad.
exceptional. What
People
a time
talking
in
to
history.
computers. I know. It's
What,
like the robots have taken over, isn't it? We're just all talking to computers all the time.
oh, is that what's happening?
That's what I think it is. It's actually the robots winning.
Do you think
That's
Corona
my...
is a computer virus?
Yeah, I think it's the Millennium Bug. Yeah,
Frightening.
possibly.
So the first question, Tom, you've sort of started to cover is how the hell are you?
Oh, well, I'm fine. I'm codependent, apparently. But I'm
On
fine.
who, though? On who? Who are you codependent on?
Oh, I don't know. Probably my mum and dad and everybody I meet.
You can be
I think
dependent
so.
on me anytime. Let's codepend, Tom.
I look at all these people who are joining the conversation. I mean, they're all codependent on you. There's a lot of
Well, that's
codependency.
true.
We need other
Yeah.
people. Who are these people who are like, I'm in a relationship, but I don't care if it breaks up because I'm so secure in myself.
Yeah.
I
just
couldn't
think
do that.
everybody in the world is codependent in some way or another. And
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with it if it doesn't dwarf the self. It mustn't dwarf the self.
Well, I think this is what we're learning from the book. This is what I'm learning from the
Well,
book.
clearly I already know it, Tom.
We need to,
Now,
you know. So I'm fine. I'm doing yoga with Adrienne on YouTube.
nice.
I've downloaded the Couch to 5K run thing.
Nice.
And I also do boxing over FaceTime, but I don't punch the laptop. I just shadow box with my spindly arms. I look ridiculous.
Well, listen, I've not only been doing personal training on Zoom, I've been doing a dance. I've been doing dance with a personal trainer. And
that sounds fun.
It's really, really fun. And
Oh.
she's going to start doing some classes for the Guilty Feminists quite soon, I think.
That's going to be brilliant.
She's a feminist. She's got a feminist program for dance and just sort of letting go. I'm very excited. I shouldn't be saying this because we haven't announced it yet. I'm just telling you. I've just forgotten other people here.
You can't, as Cat Stevens says, you can't keep it in.
Don't tweet it, everybody. This is just for us.
But I love a bit of bad dancing as well. On Friday, I was feeling a bit down. I put on Alphabeat. You know, I love a Danish pop sensation, and I just danced in this little room here. I'd been doing my little my little boxing workout, and I just danced to Alphabeat, and I felt good for it. And I put it on Instagram, and I don't care who knows about it because it was bad dancing, but everybody should do it. Everybody should dance badly. It's fun.
I absolutely agree with that. I think we have a problem in our society that cultured people watch dance and listen to opera and read books, but we're expected to produce nothing. It's just to consume.
The worst.
The more that we can dance and sing and jump around, run.
Jump around. Yeah.
Jump around.
Just jump up. I love just jumping up and down. I do just love jumping up and down on a dance floor. I love that. We
must do it after this. I'm going to go out a lot. There's going to be the Roaring Twenties after this. You know that. People are going to be the parties, the sex parties.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I keep worrying about, Debs. Like, it's going to be like VE Day, isn't it? No, I mean, I'm not worried really, but that's why I'm doing all this exercise now. So
it must be worrying for you because you're the face of abstinence now.
They'll be like, what? He's here. Oh, this party's over.
Can I ask you, do you have any coping, and again, you've organically covered a lot, but do you have any coping strategies, emotional coping strategies for being alone so much?
I mean,
your mum and dad.
So quite alone. I have been watching 30 Rock, and
yes,
I've talked about it on a couple of things, but I have felt quite, like I said last week, I felt quite down. And so I really had to be pragmatic about it because I couldn't do the classic things are that we go out and we see friends and we have a pizza, have a glass of wine, whatever you want. But we can't do any of those things. So I've had to get into a bit of a routine of self-care, as we say, self-care. So I like to have a bath. I like to watch 30 Rock. I like to, I do like to speak to friends. I mean, I know that sounds like the most sort of, kind of boring one to say, but it does really help, speaking to people. I feel 100% warmer just seeing your face there, Debs, honestly.
Well, I think this FaceTime that we're into now, because we never used to FaceTime. We used to just be like typing at each other, even though this was invented.
Yeah.
And if phones had only ever been for texting and then suddenly we got to hear people and see them, that would have become all the rage. But because they started with talking and then they went to typing, when FaceTime came in, we went, I don't like to be interrupted.
I don't want people to see my face and But now,
do you think this is going to carry on after the quarantine? Do you think we will FaceTime?
I think we will a lot more, and I think we might, like, work conversations, I think, might happen on FaceTime a lot more. I don't know. But I hope for people who have, like, really miserable commutes that are expensive and not fun, I think hopefully their bosses will go, you know what, just come in for 1 day a week, and we can and you can work at home for the rest of the time if that's productive for you, if you want to do that. And I think and we can FaceTime in the morning and check in, but that's it. I think that's better, isn't it?
I think that's going to happen. I also think we might keep house party. So on a Wednesday night, you know, when everyone lives all over London or even all over the UK or over internationally, and you think, I'd love to go to the pub. I can't be asked. I don't have time. It's my only night off from a gig.
They're on 30 on house party, yeah.
They're on house. 30 Rock is your television show.
Someone just wrote about 30 Rock at the bottom as I was lifting up to do my house party.
I love the idea of you on house party with the cast of 30 Rock.
I would love that. You know, I've always had a crush on Kenneth. Oh, I loved Kenneth.
Have you?
Don't know why. Just really fancy him.
I mean, you and Kenneth have a lot in common.
Do we?
Yes, you've got a similar charming energy. I mean, he's much more naive than you. You're not an ingenue. You're not an ingenue. No. You're a sophisticated man of the world. You're Noel Coward. You're Ivan Novello.
Bless you.
But there is a sort of a charming... I don't know. There's a charming warmth that radiates from the both of you. I'd love to see your children.
Well, I'd love to have children with him. Yes, that would be great. I don't know how that would happen, but yeah.
Science is working on all sorts.
They can do anything these days. Hopefully, I mean, they're quite busy at the moment, but you know, in time.
They are. Is there anything you're surprised by, Tom Allen, from this? Either your own response to this or humanity's response. Has anything surprised you? Like, for example, I'm surprised about how patient Londoners have become. We're all happy to queue for half an hour and to get into a supermarket now, and we don't complain. And before, we would have elbowed each other out of the way and got very cross. Is there anything that surprises you about the way people are reacting, the way you're reacting, that you wouldn't have thought, oh, I didn't know that mattered to me? Or
I am getting more focused on what I want. I know, going back, not to go on about codependency, but I'm getting more focused on what I want.
You've become codependent with that book, you know that, don't you?
That's basically Melody Beattie. I need to meet her. Does anybody know that?
The irony of becoming codependent with the author of the Codependence book. But she gets a lot of those calls from the codependents going, I need to meet you. I know that we're meant to be.
It's like my friend Eleanor Tom. Do you know Eleanor Tom? She's written a wonderful book about endometriosis. If any of our viewers this evening suffer from endometriosis, she's written a really fabulous, really uplifting book about it. She suffers from it. But her and I got very obsessed with Julia Cameron, who wrote The Artist's Way, and we keep doing impersonations of Julia Cameron because she's always like, you know, because she lives in this like rarefied LA world of like, you know what, I was feeling depressed, so I just put on a sweater and I went to walk in the mountains and I discovered this cat was there and I started to tell this cat all my feelings and now I always think to myself, if I'm struggling, I just talk to my cat. Like, what are you talking about?
Yes.
Those people have got a temp job.
It's like, you know, in the morning, you should just spend 2 hours meditating before you do your pages and then just spend another hour on your pages. And
yeah, it's so hard.
You should take a probiotic break. Just sit down with your probiotics. And then, you know what? You just need, you look out your French windows onto the valley below.
Onto the, just, you know, get up. She literally says at one point, like, maybe you could take a house at the beach. Like, no, most people can't do that.
Oh, what you should do then is you should sit on the roof of your Santa Fe mansion. Just
Just go to your Santa Fe house.
Just jump in your Ferrari. You go straight to Santa Fe. If you're feeling down at all, you get on the roof of the Santa Fe house where you have prepared a balcony, which is also a sun trap. That is where you do your salutations.
That's where you do your salutations, and don't be afraid of making that into a sanctuary for yourself and your creativity. Like,
and you're probably gonna feel bad about WhatsApping Brené Brown. Don't. She is always WhatsApping me. You get on your WhatsApp and you say, you reach out to Brené.
I mean, what a world, what a life, what a creative life. But I did kind of love the book. I did love it. Anybody who's struggling, wants to create, I recommend The Artist's Way.
Please read The Artist's Way, do the pages, do the daily pages, and then mock it
Yeah.
furiously.
It's yeah, you know, and no one does all of it, I think. I mean, I don't know
No.
anybody who's done all of it. You
Well,
know,
a
and
few
go on
people
a
who've become codependent with The Artist's Way have done all of it, but most of us did a bit of it.
we
Did
do
a
a bit
bit
of
of
it.
it.
I think people get about a third of the way through, and it does its job. You know, it just readjusts,
Yes, I
resets.
agree. I think there's something about your morning pages. I think something about just writing something, even if you've only got a
Yeah,
minute, I think
yeah,
is a really good
that's
thing.
good, isn't it? That is
Which
good.
brings
I
us to
agree.
the question, do you have any routine? Is there anything you, to mark your day out? Because, you know, we used to have, oh, I've got a meeting then, I've got a gig then. Is there anything you do that you go, if I do that, the morning has begun? If I, you know, we already know you put on proper clothes. I mean,
I
pop
well,
on your waistcoat.
I'm not a good morning person. I think that's why I do the job I do, because I'm not good in the mornings, and I'm okay with that. And I am very good at I don't know, I try and take it easy first thing, and then ease it gently into the day. But that's a luxury I have. But I do back end it, that I don't normally finish until quite late.
Right.
But I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky. But I mean, just a cup of coffee is something. I mean, even exercise, I try and do at the end of the day, because first thing I'm like, oh God, why did I get up? Oh. But I've just got a new mattress, Debs. I've just got a new mattress.
Nice.
I went to John Lewis and bought one there. Not the most
Feels,
expensive one.
feels like
The
poor
one,
timing in a way.
well, or not on great timing, because it's the main place that we all are, isn't it? Bet.
I
And
suppose, I suppose so. I thought I was thinking for Tinder, but
oh, I see. But going back to our earlier point, that's very
sure, of
difficult.
face of abstinence, yes. Yes, but well, actually, a new mattress would be welcome at this point, because I do a lot of my work in bed. I do a lot of typing in bed. I know you
Oh,
probably do,
right.
but bed office is
Well,
great.
a desk bed. I got a soft mattress, which everyone was like, why? But the woman there was like, no, you need to support your lower back. And then she thrust the small of her arm underneath my back, and then she said, your pelvis isn't supported. And then she started lifting up my pelvis in the middle of John Lewis. I
I
hope she worked
mean,
there.
never knowingly undergroped.
No,
Now,
is Tom on Tinder? No, I'm not. But I'm thinking of joining Guardian Soulmates. What do you think about that? Sorry, I've gone off on a tangent.
no, yes, let's get straight to it. That's a better question than the one I had.
Well, somebody said, "Am I on?
Yes,
Shall I
Guardian
join Guardian Soulmate?"
Soulmates. Yeah.
Because I don't date. I don't meet anybody. And so I was like,
Are you not
I've
too
got
famous
to.
now, Tom Allen, to go on Guardian Soulmates?
Well, well, that's very generous of you to say. But what's the difference? You know,
Well,
what
don't people say, aren't you Tom Allen off the telly?
they might go. Oh, I can't stand that bloke. Why have you put him up as your profile picture? And then I'd start crying. But no, I just
They
sort of
would
thought, well, I don't.
never say that. Who
No, I
would?
know, I
I
know,
don't know.
I
I
know.
don't think you don't have a lot of trolls, do you? People do. Don't people all
No,
love you?
I do get a few. Like I think everybody gets a few. You know, it depends. Depends what sort of show one does at that time. But certain
Oh,
things. But
someone's
if you
asking if you have a boyfriend.
no,
And I don't know if that might be a
I asked them on a date. Oh,
proposition.
did I?
It's
Oh,
someone called
maybe.
MB and then a load of numbers. So I don't know. I
Oh,
deduce nothing
may
from
I
that.
call you MB? But I just sort of I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it? I find it difficult to meet people, and I sort of go, well, what's wrong with just being honest and going, oh, I would like to go on dates. So this is the
Robert
place to
Brown
come.
says he cute, surprise he single. But I think that's just
Oh,
kind of
that's
cutesy.
nice.
Yes,
Um,
yes. Someone here
well,
says Queen in Country says OMG, I'm thinking about joining Guardian Soulmate. Fed up of the grind, not getting anywhere.
there
Oh,
you
and
go. Grind. Yes, and or go on.
MB also says definitely, but I don't know what to. Sorry, go
Oh.
on, Tom.
No, I say, well, Grinder is very useful in its way, and actually, I don't dislike it. I think it can be very. I found it very validating when I first discovered it, because it was like, oh, there are gays everywhere.
Mm.
But I don't know. I don't know whether actually Guardian Soulmates is a bit more upmarket. Is it a bit more upmarket? I don't know.
It's definitely more upmarket than Grinder.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
imagine if like John Lewis did dating. That would be good, wouldn't it? A Waitrose app, a Waitrose
That
dating app.
woman tried. She tried hard when she was doing dating while you were trying to buy a mattress from her, and you didn't pick up on the signs.
I'm so
She said,
rubbish. I'm
"Let me
so
support your
rubbish.
pelvis," and you didn't pick it up. Do you think,
Oh,
out of interest, we've gone way off my questions. So I don't care about the questions. I'm interested in talking to you. Do you think this is going to have an impact on how we date and intimacy, and like, because we'll all be sort of out of it for a long time, and when we come back, anybody who wasn't in with their partner, or even with that, you're sort of not getting the stimulation from outside. You're going out to a party, dressing up, coming home feeling a bit sexy. You're just in those same four walls. But especially people who were not sequestered with anyone they wanted to have sex with, are we all going to be like, oh, touch? Is it going to reset things?
I don't know. I mean, my instinct is it'll probably drive people wild, and there'll be like you say, probably endless kind of amorous encounters, I imagine. But I mean, maybe people will be a bit frightened off of kind of. Well, I'm not used to seeing a person here at a party. I'm not used to meeting somebody face to face.
Now I've got to look at their penis.
Now I've got to at a party. Oh, I see, at a sex party. Yeah, I guess.
No, it just means when you get to that bit. So if someone hit on you at a party, or you'd be like, I haven't even seen a person in a pub, much less a penis in a bed.
Sure, that sounds like a terrible tongue twister in every way. But I think they. I'm sure, but I think that. Well, I think it's making people, like you say about FaceTime, I think it's making people connect a lot more on a more human level. So actually, a lot of that kind of more, that kind of it. Because I can speak as a gay man, but it can be. I think a lot of that stuff can be quite disconnecting. Actually, a lot of that kind of lustful-driven grinder stuff can sometimes be a bit disconnecting. And actually, getting to know people is maybe something that people will cherish a bit more.
Yes,
it's a bit of a worthy answer.
No, I think probably a bit of both. I think some people will be like, oh, so we'll all react in an extreme way. And I think some people will just be straight into killing kittens, and others will be dancing around the edges going, I don't know how to touch anybody anymore. And actually, I want to rethink how I've done all this and don't just want to jump into bed with you. I think we're going to polarize.
Yes, I bet that's probably true, isn't it? I think it depends on what your circumstances have been as well. Like, I think the thing I've realised is that living at home with my mum and dad, with no opportunity to go on any dates, really clarifies how much you wish you'd gone on more dates before happened. So that's my perspective.
All very good salient epiphanies that you're having there in lockdown. Do you have anything you'd like to show us? Sort of like, might be a pet, it might be a relic, it could be Linda. Anything you'd like to show us in your home?
I will show you. Well, you've already seen it, but I thought you might like to see it again. But this is a picture of me with hair.
Oh, yes.
When I was 20.
What year was this? If that's not rude a question.
I think it was about 2002. 2002, yeah.
So it was...
Maybe I was younger. Maybe I was about 19.
That's after Britpop, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what that was really.
I don't really.
Nothing.
It was
really.
Quiz, actually.
Was it?
The quiz show. Yeah, that was 2001. You know the quiz that's on tonight about the cheating in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
That was 2002, was it?
2001. So that you had hair when the big cheat scandal happened on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but they're lifting the lid, and maybe it's not all we thought it was.
So we had that to watch. Wow. I think
you were a charming young man. Were you an actor then? Is that why you had a
I wanted to be an actor. Didn't really know about comedy then. Wasn't really a thing in my world anyway. I didn't start that for a few years.
Somebody here called Toby says I was born in 2001.
Well, good for you.
That was my birth year, fuck me, says someone else. No, that's the reason we're not going to fuck you. Because we remember Who Wants to Be a Millionaire very well.
We know what the world was going through. It was lots of Big Brother at that time, I think, as well.
Oh,
and
yes,
things like
Big
that.
Brother was 2000, the first one.
So we were sort of like right in the throes of it there. We loved it. And it was only starting to become like, our Daily Star. I think it became that later on. But at that point, it was, it was a bit more measured. Do you remember when it was sort of like genuinely a social experiment and people were like, there was like the psychologist would come on and give their opinion. It was so different to what it became.
I mean, ironically, now that's what's actually happening. It is sort of like a social experiment because we're all in Big Brother house, except we're not being, except we're putting the cameras on ourselves.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it? That's true. We've all become Big Brother. Yeah, we've all become Big Brothered. Yeah. Oh, what would George Orwell say about all this?
The only thing George Orwell didn't see is coming is that we would queue for the cameras.
Oh, is that right? That
Mm.
we would
I
we would
coined
love being
that.
filmed.
I coined
That's
that and I
great.
put it
That's
on
great.
Twitter, and then I saw somebody else make it into a meme. Maybe they had the same thought, but whatever. They started. Now,
Very interesting.
have you had a dark thought or a low moment that you wouldn't mind sharing? And I ask this every day because we tend to live stream us making margaritas in funny hats, but we don't ever talk about our low moments. And people really love this section because they're like, oh my God, thank God, thank God. Because all I see is people, screenshots of people on a house party having a
Yeah.
laugh and learning
Doing
origami.
quizzes.
Doing quizzes
Yes.
and learning origami, learning
So
to the
many.
ukulele,
Oh
making
God.
banana bread, endless banana bread.
Oh, so much banana bread. Enough with your banana breads.
It's the theme of the quarantine.
You know. Well, I feel like I've sort of maybe mentioned that last week, especially, and this week to an extent too, of just feeling very low and very just very very sad about kind of everything and just sort of just worried. I think. And do you know what I think didn't help? Channel 4 put on the absolutely harrowing documentary about Putin. So I think I watched that, and it's one of those things that just like trigger you into like, oh God. And I really had to start saying to people like, I'm feeling low, please help. Not please help, but please help, but kind of please help. And
I'm reaching out.
and just sort of actually not being afraid to go, I need some help today. And I know I will, but what I'm impressed with is that this time I feel like I know I can sit with these emotions a bit more, and I know I will come through it. But I'm just I'm gently acknowledging, going, this is sometimes how a person feels, and it's okay, and it'll come okay. But that's why I started doing the exercise, really, and the dancing around and stuff.
Can I ask, when you reached out for help, what helped you that people did or said? Because that's sort of what I want to know at the moment. What is helpful? Because I know, things that might help me, or I've been loads of people have messaged me and said, and I've connected with them. It's not loads, but people have reached out, and I have reached out.
Yeah.
Is there anything that's helped you that people have said, or is it just the fact that they've been there to have a chat with you?
A bit of both. I think that what do I want to say? I think that chatting and talking honestly and sort of spilling out the things in your mind and not allowing things to overinflate, like the things that we're worried about, having them diffused, is that the right word? Diminished by talking them through with a friend. Whatever your worry is or whatever's playing on your mind, whether it's Vladimir Putin or whatever, just talking something through, I think is really powerful. I mean, I know that's kind of time on, but it's as simple as that for me, at least, anyway. I think just openly airing those insecurities or what you're worried about or what you're feeling, because often if it becomes introspective, which I find, and I think a lot of people do, it's about just actually going, stop beating yourself up. Like you're having a bad time. Don't stop like then thinking about the fact that you're not very good at pop music. I was saying the other day, or like whatever. You don't know enough about blah blah, or you never went backpacking when you were 20. So you're having those pictures done. Just don't beat yourself up about that. Just sort of kind of go, well, actually, I've done good things. I have done good things.
You've done so many good things, Tom.
And so have you, and so have we all. And so that's the. I think for me, that's very important.
Do you know one of the things I've started to do, because I felt a bit low. I genuinely did feel a bit low the other day. So we have a game that we play on the Guilty Feminist that's I'm a Feminist But, where we confess something and we exfoliate. Yes. If you have any, we're very delighted to hear them. But I had a genuine I'm a Feminist But the other day. I'm a Feminist But. I genuinely did think I'm going to have to start wearing makeup every day and brushing my hair. I'm going to really have to, because I did a FaceTime with a family in Austria who are actually from Iraq. And there's lovely families who are still refugees, still displaced, don't have their papers. And I had a lovely call with them just to sort of check in and say hello. And I was talking to the dad, and Steve, who's Syrian, who lives with Tom and me. He's in lockdown in the country, and so he joined like a FaceTime call, and we're having a lovely chat. And the dad put the phone on to Bilal, the little boy, and the smallest boy, and he said, "Oh, it's Deborah and Steve," and Bilal went and said something in Arabic and looked at his dad. And his dad just talked to him, and he sort of, I'm in this chat. And then I said to Steve, what's he saying? And Steve said, he said, that's Steve, but that's not Deborah. That's not the lady who came to our house. That's a different lady. He was like, why is she impersonating Deborah? He thought I was impersonating a more attractive woman.
Well,
he saw me in quarantine, and because I just hadn't done anything to my hair, like I'd washed my hair and left it. I didn't. I do today because of that call, Tom. That call was the wake up. Yes. I'm sitting in very good light. I've done liquid eyeliner. I've done the whole thing. I've got a flattering shade of. I'm angled. I was not looking like this, and I was just like, it wasn't that someone went, oh, you've really got the quarantine vibe going. A child thought I was an entirely different human being. I spent a long weekend in his home. He knows well. I FaceTimed them loads. A child thought I was a different human being.
It's not her. It's not her. Oh, and now you're worried about you're wearing makeup all the time. Well, this isn't. You mustn't take us on board.
Oh, I am.
You mustn't worry about that.
But
It might sound maybe it's too late.
I'm a feminist, but for Skype calls, for any Instagram live, I'm sorry. It's a wake-up call. And I went, do you know what? The thing is, because, we do a certain amount of, going on stage and, occasion, you do a lot more telly than I do, but occasional TV, occasional kind of red carpety type stuff. I love all the dressing up. And I just thought, yesterday, I thought, I miss being prettier than I am.
Oh.
Because they make you up to be so pretty. And I just
is that about like, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
No. Therapy. I'm reaching out. I need help.
Well, I think that's maybe about the fact it's not about that you need to look any different. It's about just, it's a nice feeling to get dressed up. I think it's not about you changing yourself, despite what that child said. I think it's about
say it like that. He's a refugee child.
Oh, you're right. It's very difficult. It's very difficult for you to be angry at him, isn't it? You put yourself in an impossible situation there, Deb.
Delightful, sweet child. He's super bright as well and brilliant at football, and like one of those. He's a preternaturally brilliant child, as is his brother.
Yeah.
And
you can't. You can't be annoyed.
No, but he's a little genius, and yet he looks. No, look.
Not on every front. Not on every front.
Thank you. It's more an identity piece around a lot of. Part of my identity is dressing up, going out the town, being fabulous, being on stage.
That's it.
That's it. I think. Boom, boom.
I think it's very much about that.
And I'm like, I'm so blow dry. My head to go to walk. Where everyone's going to avoid me. And if you do that, you just see people running out of your path. And it's like we're veering away from each other. It's not relaxing.
No, I think that sorry, we have a lot of close-ups on my teeth. I think that I just realised
doing the camera work.
I know. Sorry, is it making people feel sick? I need to get a stand, but I haven't got one.
No, it's only because you said that. Yeah.
But I think that it's that's why I like wearing suits. Really, it's because I always say clothes aren't about how they make you look; it's about how they make you feel. So if you feel
true,
so if you feel fancy wearing a suit or whatever it is, whatever makes.
Oh, you've just cut out. I can't hear you anymore. What's happened? Can anyone else hear Tom? Is it just me? No, Tom can no longer be heard. It's a disaster. He'll come back in. So I'm going to ask Tom another question. Tom, do you have a piece of online activism you'd like us to help with today? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear you, but can you hear me? No, he's gone. Nobody can hear you. Oh, he suddenly got gift glasses. Oh, that's exciting. He's doing special effects to make up for the fact we can't hear him. Someone's saying he's turned his mic off. Have you turned your mic off? I mean, it's a funny alternative to sound, I have to say. What is going on? I don't know if he's done that effect celebrity. Yes? No? You still can't hear you. Okay. Someone's saying take out your earphones. So maybe take out your earphones and see if that helps. Unplug those. Can you unplug? See if that helps. Earphones. We think the earphones are the problem. Oh, Tom's left. Okay. All right. So I'm going to ask Tom on the Oh, no, he's view. Okay, let's see. Go live with Tom. See if we can add him. Add Tom. See if he's going to come back. People are asking if you've tried turning it on and off again. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Here he is. He's back.
I'm sorry. I just got a call from a friend, and I just absolutely ruined everything. Sorry.
No, you didn't.
Sorry,
it was
everybody.
very amusing.
How rude.
Exactly the same thing happened to Graham Norton the other night when he was interviewing Cher. No. But it could have. It's the kind of thing that happened. Did you see when he rang Judi Dench for the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire parody? And it went to voicemail because he doesn't have the normal producers to tee it up. And then she picks it up in the middle of the voice and he says, "Oh, Judi Dench, how are you?" And she starts going, "Yes. Oh, we're coping," and like chatting. And he goes, "Okay, so I'm playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire." And she's sort of obviously been primed and has sort of forgotten or something. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Oh.
So do you have a piece of online activism that you would like us to help with? So a charity, a cause, anything that's like that you'd like us to contribute to? A food bank, a refuge, anything? Want us to get the word out there that people should stop hooking up? Anything we can do to help?
That's a lovely offer. So many great organisations. I would be inclined to say something like the Trussell Trust, who support food banks around the country, especially at this time. I mean, it's very. I think we are pulling together as a community. I slightly wish that there was more news about community and what we can do community action-wise, because I think a lot of our news is very like, you sort of see like, for example, the Australian government went, the Australian people behaved magnificently this weekend, and we just get, well, more bad news, and another thing that and you kind of
maybe we should start that, Tom Allen. We should do a weekly Instagram good news show.
I would love to do that, Debs. I would love to do that. Positivity and that, because I think people need, I try and do it on my silly locked in videos, but I try and say like, well done everyone, like we're into a new week, or we finished another week. Or,
yes,
I think it's hard for people. We're not really getting very much of that kind of geeing up by our leaders.
Maybe that's why I like your show so much. It's partly you've sort of smashed the comedy of being alone, to be fair. If you haven't watched it, they're really short as well. And lots of these things go on forever, like my show's always gone forever. But Tom has just got these little, it's so short. And it's just this snippet of what it is to be like, sort of when you went through your candles saying what they all smelt like. And he has a sort of, a Linda, who's his friend, who's really a balloon head lady. It's just the essence of that slight unhingedness that we sometimes get. So I think you're sort of admitting how difficult it is, but doing it in such a charming, funny, upbeat way that I feel elevated by it, because it's both an admission and also you've just got funny bones, Tom Allen. So
thank you. That's
what
such a lovely thing to say.
It's true. What we should do is you should ask your followers for some good news, community news. I'll ask my followers, and then we'll report back. We'll do it once a week. You'll read out yours, and I'll read out mine, and we'll say this is what's happened. And
great.
And we can make a little Instagram live. Maybe we'll get someone to edit in footage of things happening, it'll be called Tom and Deb's Good News. But we'll have a best name for that. Good news with Tom and Deb.
Oh, that would be lovely.
John Krasinski, I think, is doing a show called Some Good News, which is so brilliant.
I just love to watch that.
But we have to make ours different. It's so brilliant. But he does things like get the cast of Hamilton to come on and recreate a song from Hamilton for a small child. And I think ours will be much more community based. That's how will make it different is we won't have Lin-Manuel Miranda on.
Okay, yeah, I think that's okay, right? That's okay.
But we could have like a special guest of the week on who tells their personal good news.
That would be nice.
That's a good idea.
Get people on and just say something like nice that's happened, because I think it's easy to get a bit doom and gloom, isn't it?
Like my cat's finished its worm medication and it feels fine.
I'd love to hear about that. Yeah,
I made that up.
I worried about my neighbour, so I, did something for them.
Do you know Steve, who we were talking about before?
No,
he's from country. He's Syrian. Syrian.
Oh,
Steve.
sorry, Steve. Yeah.
Yeah. He said to me the other day, it's Connie's 90th birthday. I really hope the lockdown is alleviated before Connie's 90th birthday. Connie is our nearly 90 neighbour, And
Oh,
Steve, because he's from Syria, where they respect old people and don't put them into
yeah.
a home at the first opportunity, he's always like in visiting her and stuff. It's so lovely. And one time I found
Oh,
out he took her, he didn't tell me, he just came out, I think came out on, we were doing Global Pillage. He had taken her to a 3-hour Maltese Catholic church service. And he's not raised
oh,
Christian because she couldn't get there on her own. And he sat with her, didn't understand a word of it. And he said,
oh.
because he said, but she really wanted to go. I said, why did you do that? And he's like 27. And I said, why did you do that? He said, because she really wanted to go. And it meant a lot to her. And he'd taken her and he said, but the priest came along with holy water and sort of flicked it. And he said, I dodged it because I'm not Christian. And he said, but then later, when there was a blessing, I went down the front. He didn't take the bread and the wine. He said, you just put your arms over. And he said, I got the blessing from from the priest. And he said, I liked that because it was consensual.
Sure.
But
Whereas the water wasn't.
yeah, he said the holy water was just thrown at me. So anyway, he was saying, Connie, is Connie okay? And I was like, oh my God, you're a much better person than I am, Steve. So I went and knocked on Connie's window. And she came out to the door and I stood well back.
Very
And
good.
I'd left some Easter cross buns for her on the
Oh,
doorstep.
that's nice.
Yeah, M&S 2 for 1. And I thought, get some for Connie, I thought. Steve, it's what Steve would want. And asked her, does she need anything? And, you know, here's my phone number. If you need anything, if your other neighbours can't help or whatever, because the neighbour upstairs is helping. And I did that because Steve is from a superior upbringing where old people are respected, listened to, and taken to very lengthy religious services if they would like to go.
Well, that's lovely.
That's some good news,
What a
isn't
lovely,
it?
heartwarming story. Yeah.
It's some good news. That's an example of something I might tell
Yeah.
in
Yeah. I mean, that's the sort of thing. Sorry, I'm just propping up to
I
that.
think
Oh,
we should do it because honestly, there is so much good news. And there's people like making masks, there's children doing activities.
I love all the bears and not those bears, although I'm sure I've seen a few of those in a window. But the teddy bears.
I did a scavenger hunt for children on the weekend, an online scavenger hunt, where they had to kind of create and invent and find things. Some brilliant drawings and things. All the prizes went out today.
Oh, you're so good. That's lovely to do that.
Well, I don't have any children, so I think I should be, you know.
Nice to them. A friend of mine has children, and I worry. I'm putting you slightly on the shelf. I think that's a better. Is that better? Is that better? I don't know.
Yes, that's good. So I need to do a couple of final
Hmm.
questions because we're about to get cut off by Instagram. You can only do an hour and we're running over. Do you hope humanity will learn anything from this, Tom Allen?
I hope so, and I hope that I hope that we will learn to use this as a reset. I think in terms of the environment, I think in terms of the food we're eating and the way we're consuming. I hope that it makes us reevaluate some of that, and I hope that it allows us a reset so we can now work together. Because I think as a generation, we're about the same age, I think, aren't we, Debs? Maybe you're younger than I'm 36. But
yeah, around that, something like that. Keep going. Just keep talking, Tom. There's no need.
Sometimes I felt like we felt a bit disenfranchised as a generation, you know. And I think now is our time to go. Actually, let's make a better world that we want, you know, and not be conditioned all the time by the things that I think we had to be there before. And I hope it moves in that direction and not. I hope that everybody is aware that in times where the world is changing and where there have been changes in the past, often horrible people have come to power, and I hope that we are all educated and aware enough to not allow that to happen.
A wonderful answer. Any habits you think you might stay with us? Anything you're going to take forward into the new world when we are allowed back out?
That I'm just going to go out all the bloody time.
Go out loud. This off. Can we go to an underwear party? I went to Fire Island last year, and we didn't have any way of getting back, and I met some gorgeous young gay men, and they took me to an underwear party.
What did you think?
It was so liberating to dance in your underwear. Definitely recommend it.
Things like that are very liberating, aren't they? I think if it's not that I'm very experienced, but anything like that, which is sounding like it's more euphemistic than it is, but anything like that where everybody is, where it's a welcoming environment, it's very liberating. Yeah.
It really is. It really is. I mean, it is for a straight woman. I don't know if you're a gay man, you might find it more body fascistic, but for gay men love straight women's bodies. It's a lovely world to be in. I recommend it.
I think that there are some areas of gay society that can be a little bit strict on body types, but my type is traditionally chunky and kind. So, you know, maybe that's... But I'm open to all. I'm open to all of it.
I mean, chunky and kind. That was my name at school. Their nickname at school. What? And finally, what's the first thing you're going to do if they said quarantine's over now? What are you desperate for?
Well, since this is a family show, I would say going for a pizza. I just love to go for a pizza. Exactly.
Okay, and that's the family show answer, so we know that what happens, what the pizza is an innuendo for. Chunky and Kind's a good T-shirt, because we always have Hannah from the merch store makes a T-shirt every day based on something and on demand, so they're not wasted, for the guest. And everyone that's sold, the profits go to the guest, because no one can gig. Or if you're like, oh, I'm fabulous, I'm sitting on a pile of television money, you can give it to our fund for other guilty feminist guests who are struggling to pay the rent. So the money can either... You don't have to. Just because I said you're sitting on a pile of television money, you now think, oh God, now I've got to. We'll discuss it later. The money will either go to Tom Allen or somebody less fortunate. That's to be debated.
To be debated, exactly.
To be debated. Tom Allen, it has been absolutely wonderful to have you. Do you have anything to plug other than Locked In with Tom Allen? Anything else we should watch?
Well, we're hoping... Well, we know that Bake Off the Professionals is coming back in a few weeks.
Yes.
We filmed it. We're doing the voiceovers now remotely, which is very exciting. And so we're doing that, and I'm looking forward to that. And then listen to my podcast with Susie Ruffle, Like Minded Friends. We're doing that. It usually comes out on Friday.
Great, yes.
And I hope you enjoy the Locked In videos I've been doing with Linda and anything else. Feel free to say hello. Always say hello.
And if you want to make stories of that book or your podcast, Locked In, anything like that, we will then share them if you're at the Guilty Feminist, and everyone can then see them and be like, oh, I must do that. I must click on that. I'll make one for the Trussell Trust.
Oh, lovely. Oh, that would be nice. Please do that. Yeah.
And we'll get people to donate. This show is free, but the Trussell Trust needs money. So if you have any, please spend it there. And if you don't have any, if you could share it, tell people about it, because loads of people have got expendable income at the moment they can't use because nothing's open. So sharing is as good as donating. Or give them a follow. And if you're not following Tom Indeed, what have you been doing with your life?
What have you been doing? Come join, come join. I'll do my best to be cheering to you as best I can.
Tom, it has been a joy and a pleasure as always. Love you lots.
Lovely to see you.
Thanks for
Bye, you guys. Bye, bye, bye.